You've probably heard thousands of things you need to do to build muscle. Foods to eat, not to eat, meal timing, exercise technique, tempo, time under tension. It can get complicated real quick. But the truth is, these are all extremely small details. Ones that I rarely pay much attention to, especially today. But instead, if you do a few small key things every single day, you'll build muscle on autopilot. For me, I break that down to 5 major daily habits that I do every single day. The first one is simple: sleep 8 hours per night. This is a non-negotiable. It increases my training performance, it increases my recovery from workouts, and it optimizes my body's health. If I'm sleeping better, I'm training harder. If I'm training harder, I'm growing more muscle. Many people think it's hardcore to go to the gym 6 days per week, 2 hours per day. In my opinion, what's actually hardcore? Making yourself go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Number 2, I consume 250 grams of protein per day. Regardless if I'm cutting, bulking, or maintaining, that number is pretty much a staple for me personally. High protein diets build more muscle, they help you recover from intense training, and they help you maintain muscle mass even during a deficit. Generally, anywhere between 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight up to 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight is recommended to build muscle. Personally, I like to be on the higher end of that. While I might not need that much protein to build muscle mass, it makes me personally less likely to want to put low quality fuel in my gas tank. By eating roughly 250 grams of protein per day, I can stay leaner during a gaining phase, and I can also make faster progress during a cutting phase. If it helps me keep cravings away, I'm gonna do it. Habit number 3, hit my calorie goal every single day. Regardless if I'm gaining muscle or burning body fat, I always have a target calorie goal to hit that day. Sometimes that means I'll have to eat when I'm not hungry in a gaining phase. And of course, that'll mean I'll have to restrict myself in a cutting phase. But regardless, I'm hitting that number. Like sleep, this one is a non-negotiable. Now, even the best, most seasoned lifters occasionally suffer from eating based on emotion. But it's the ones that can truly put emotional eating aside that get the best results from dieting. If you want to get ripped, if you want to build massive amounts of muscle, I encourage you, focus on breaking that emotional connection with food. Habit number 4, always hit my daily step goal. For me, that's 10,000 steps pretty much year round. That's my baseline, even when I'm focused on gaining. During a fat loss phase, that might increase even more. But the point is, once that number is set, I execute the plan. If I'm very active, I might hit that number without actually thinking about it. If I'm sitting around, or it's a day off from the gym, I'll force myself to walk until that daily goal is met. In a world filled with distractions and constant time constraints, you don't have to do endless hours of traditional cardio, but you do have to move. Get those steps in. Habit number 5, the most obvious, but not always the most well understood. Every session, I train with a high level of effort. Think about what I just said. Train. Exercise is simply about moving. Training is about creating a stimulus for muscle growth. If you want to build muscle, do the latter. For me, that's always training with a logbook. I know what I did last workout, I know what I did last month, I know what I did last year. You can even ask me to look up what I did on chest day in 2005. I can pull that up for you. And every time I go in the gym today, I have a goal to hit. If I'm accomplishing these 5 habits daily, generally all the minor details are now covered as well. So instead of having thousands of variables to stress over, I break it down to just 5. And if you want the exact training programs that I personally recommend to build muscle using proven old school bodybuilding methods, all my old school mass gain programs are down below. And as always, if you want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.